welcome to UK Gaming Network. I'm Brian, also known as UK Gen Zoidberg, and this is Best 10, where we offer up our favourite games to fit a selected theme. Today we're back into the realm of Commodore 64 games, so I've once again drafted in the help of UK GM-Pad with footage and opinions. Together we're going to be looking at the games that came from one of the most well-known publishers in the 1980s, Hewson Consultants. Although they didn't actually make any of the games in this video themselves, they released games from many top programmers and development teams, some of whom went on to much bigger and better things in later years. We're going to list our favourite 10 games to come from the publisher, but we'd like to know which ones were your favourites as well. Please let us know in the comments. At the end of the day, this is merely our opinion and just a bit of fun. So without further ado, let's get on with our list, starting with number 10. Originally designed for the Spectrum by Rafael Checo, Cybernoid is a game that suffered from poor 16-bit conversions. The C64 version, however, programmed by Nick Jones, is probably the second best after the original. The graphics may lack the clarity of the Spectrum version, but Jerome Tell's soundtrack is a fantastic one. It's definitely a game that's best played using keyboard controls rather than a joystick, as this allows you to change your special weapons a lot more easily. And for a game that's as challenging as this one, you're going to need all the help you can get. Some of the randomness to the enemy attacks can be frustrating, but overall the game has an infectious, addictive quality that makes you want to keep playing. The box artwork for Marauder depicts a cool looking dune buggy adorned with some heavy artillery. Sadly, no such vehicle appears in the game, and you are actually controlling something more akin to a futuristic tank. While there's nothing truly spectacular about the game as a whole, it's one of those games where everything just works as intended, and we couldn't help ourselves enjoying it. It's a shame that it requires you to choose either music or sound effects before playing, as we couldn't possibly recommend playing it without hearing Barry Leach's atmospheric score. It's an incredibly tough game, but as the enemies appear in the same place every time, it's one that rewards perseverance and patience. Eliminator was a game that I enjoyed a great deal on the Amiga, and I'd never played the C64 version until making this video. A very impressive 3D road is the first thing that will grab your attention when you load it up, and if the gameplay was just 10% better than it is, we could have had a genuine 8-bit classic on our hands. As it is, it's an enjoyable shooter where you move along the highway at a set speed, avoiding obstacles, shooting waves of enemies and collecting power-ups. To begin with, you'll probably find it a bit slow and repetitive, but the further you get through the levels, the better it gets. There are some nice weapon upgrades, and having limited ammo makes you need to be more strategic with your shooting. By the time Sensible Software made Insects in Space in 1989, they had already brought Commodore 64 players Whizball, Parallax and Microprose Soccer. It's not surprising then that this game tends to get overlooked in their softography. It's easy to dismiss as just another Defender clone, with all the spacecraft and aliens replaced with bugs and a naked winged angel, because well, that's exactly what it is, and unashamedly so. It even has some nice power-up ideas of its own though to spice up the gameplay. If you're not a fan of Defender, then you probably won't find anything to enjoy here, but for those of you who love a good arcade-style blaster, you'll get hours of fun from it. Creator Stephen Crow was clearly a huge fan of the games produced by Ultimate. Wizard's Lair was his version of Attic Attack, Starquake has many similarities to Underworld, but Firelord is clearly his take on Sabrewulf. Crucially, he seems to understand what makes their games tick, and this is a hugely enjoyable exploration-based action-adventure. It doesn't look that much different to the Spectrum original, but that's okay because that still looks great too. The action moves at a breakneck pace, making it really easy to get completely lost, unless you have a pen and paper to hand to draw some maps. But that's all part of the fun. Another great soundtrack too, this time by Ben Dalglish. Even after 40 years, Gribbly's Day Out remains one of the most original, charming, and downright weird games ever made for the Commodore 64. It's also one of the most divisive, from looking at the comments on Lemon 64. As far as we're concerned, Andrew Braybrook's game is an early example of the greatness that was to come from him. The central character had more personality than anyone had seen before in 1985, and although the gameplay is initially confusing, once you work out what you're supposed to be doing, you'll enter into a very satisfying gameplay loop of exploring and rescuing Gribblets. Once you get over the fact that Ranarama looks identical to the Spectrum version, you'll discover a deep, rewarding maze game that's well worth your time. It was labelled, wrongly as far as we're concerned, as a Gauntlet clone by many of the reviews at the time, but this has a lot more depth to the gameplay thanks to the different spells that you can discover. There are 8 levels to explore, and the challenge gets pretty severe towards the end, but it's well worth the effort. I've always been a big fan of games that keep rooms and their contents hidden until you enter them, and that aesthetic is brilliantly used here. As a Spectrum owner, I never got to play Paradroid until long after I'd played the Amiga sequel, and I was always jealous of Commodore 64 owners for that. We got Quasitron instead though, itself a great game, but not quite as good as this one. Going back to it today, it's still an incredibly well designed game with tons of atmosphere and challenge. 97% was the score that Zap64 gave it upon release, which is amongst the highest scores they ever gave, and it's easy to see why. According to Retrogaming magazine, inspiration for the game came from many sources, such as arcade games, the film Aliens, and even the front cover of a Black Sabbath album, Technical Ecstasy. There aren't many platform games that we like as much as Nebulous, which went by the more generic sounding Tower Toppler in the US. The objective is simple: reach the top of each level, climbing up the platforms on the outside of a tower within the time limit. Many developers would have been happy with the impressive tower rotation effect and just thrown a few levels together and called it a day. Not so with John Phillips, who made sure that all 8 of the game's levels were intricately designed challenges that would really test the player. Completing all 8 was a badge of honour that I wore over my friends for many years. You won't find many shoot-em-ups anywhere as slick, playable and downright brilliant as Uridium. It's the 3rd game on this list to come from Andrew Braybuck, so you'll have to excuse us if this is starting to sound a bit like a Graph Gold loving. Paradroid may be the better game overall, but the fact is Uridium is the one that we're most likely to load up to kill a few minutes. The graphics are fast and smooth, and the audio effects wouldn't sound out of place in an arcade. As much as I love the Amiga sequel, neither that or the spiritual successor Hyper Sentinel have come close to matching its majesty. Let's hope the upcoming Hyper Sentinel Fusion, which also includes elements of Paradroid, is worth the wait. So those were our best 10 Commodore 64 games published by Hewson. Do you agree with our choices? Let us know if you think there's something that's missing from our countdown. In the video description you'll find a link to our Discord, where community members can suggest new subjects for us to cover in this series. You're welcome to join and be part of the gaming conversation over there. Just don't badmouth Mario Kart or Boulder Dash, or you might get some abuse. If watching these videos early is something that appeals, check out our VIP option as well for just £1.99 a month. We really appreciate all the support for what we do. The full playlist of previous episodes should be on screen now if you have missed any. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, happy retro gaming everybody. Bye for now.